Hey, so I'm just going to read the last parts of your Kakao Talk message to me. You wrote, "When I woke up, I liked the fold, but it did drop down soon after and my eyes felt quite heavy throughout the day." I'm going to talk more about those concerns as we go through the analysis of the videos that you sent back. Before we start, I just want to reintroduce how your eyelids were. So before, when you had occasional natural uneven eyelids, we can see how it's your right eye that we have to raise the crease. And then we look at picture number 2. This is how you naturally are when you have symmetric eyelids. The important part is we're seeing, yes, the crease folds at a higher position, but when you look closely, the micro creases are also symmetric. So that's an important thing to look out for. Picture number 3, this is the F-tape blinking video you sent. So you have the F-tape on and then you slowly blink so I can see what's going on. And I thought that some adjustments to make with your tape application technique is to lower the crease slightly. So possibly lower it by 1 millimeter and then put it a little bit away from the nose by 1 millimeter also. When we look closely at the picture of your right eye with F-tape on, it may look like there's not any space left for you to lower the F-tape, but as you close your eyes, you can see how that there is an appreciable amount of space. So all I just want you to do is to lower the F-tape by 1 millimeter and place it away from the nose by 1 millimeter also. So the tape removal process, you mentioned how that you like the crease the way it was folding, but it pretty much became destabilized soon after. So this is normal because this is your first time using the tapes. The things we're looking out for is to see whether your skin is actually responding to the stimulation caused by the tapes by just those few hours of wearing it the night before. And as you can see, here, after removing the tapes, you can see how there is an impression of where the crease should be, so that's a very good sign. So a bad sign will be if you remove the tapes and your skin doesn't show any impressions. Even if you try to flex your eyelids, the crease wouldn't form, especially if it's an incorrectly placed crease. In your case, it was an incorrectly placed crease, so, and it still showed some impressions of the skin folding, so that's good. So I thought that the momentary crease that you had, it was a bit too high. Here we see a picture of where you can clearly see an impression of where the crease is going to form on your good eye, and it's indicated by the green dots. And if we look across, this is where the right eye's crease is supposed to form, but I thought it was a little bit too high, and even the shape of the crease is not quite the same. So as I mentioned about the micro creases, needs to be also symmetric in order for the main crease to finally be symmetric. So you can see how in the process of you tracking a moving target with your eye, we can see how the micro creases here are definitely different from your good eye. As we examine more closely, we can see how that For your right eye, you have those 2 micro creases indicated by the orange dots and the blue dots. That those 2 micro creases actually can be combined into one so that it looks very similar to your good eye. So to do that, we're going to move the F-tape about 1 millimeter away from the nose and then lower also the height by 1 millimeter. I want to compare your good eye when your eyes are naturally symmetric and compare them with the results with the Optifold tapes when they're placed while we're improving the tape placement. So you see with your good eye, you have the intermediate crease, which is made from those 2 micro creases if you place the tapes correctly. So you would have that intermediate crease that spans the entire length of the eyelid. And you see how we're going to combine those 2 micro creases into one. So you wrote at the last parts of your message that the creases, that the ideal crease eventually it failed soon after, and this is how your eyelids looked right after it failed, and you were able to apply some makeup, I guess. And you said you felt that there was heaviness in the eyelid. So what you feel, because your skin actually responded quite well to the stimulation, and we know this because even a non-ideal location where you place the tapes and yet the skin still showed an impression of a crease, and the wrong crease actually folded when you open your eyelids, but just it didn't last too long. So it means that your skin was able to be stimulated quite readily. When you're doing that type of stimulation, you're technically weakening the old crease, which is the crease that your current body state is favoring due to the body chemistry. So it's favoring the lower positioned crease, but we stimulated the crease above it. So we're having the creases, the above crease and the lower crease are competing for dominance. So what you feel is actually a weaker performing lower crease. So it's going to feel a little bit more heavy because you need to open the eyelids with a little bit more force since the lower crease is actually weaker. Eventually, with the correctly placed tapes, we're going to really be able to target where the ideal crease will be, and it's really going to make it harder for the lower crease to form. And when the lower crease does form, it's going to form not too optimally, so you're going to feel that sort of heaviness. But that will go away when we fine-tune the tape placement. Okay, that's about it. So yeah, keep on sending the update videos, and I'm going to take a look at them and see how we go.